Hello beautiful souls. Got my blue light glasses on because I've been staring at a screen all day and it's just really helping my eyes at the moment, so we're just gonna go with it. Today's video is gonna be a week of comforting, wholesome vegan dinners, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to make them and put all of the recipes on screen. All of these recipes are so easy, simple, cheap and nutritious to make. They are the perfect comfort food for the colder weather. I feel so grateful to have this abundance of food from the earth to connect me to source, to nourish me and to keep me alive. We're also connected to the earth, and I'm making more of a conscious effort to acknowledge this every time I eat my meals. This video also shows you how accessible veganism can be. There's definitely a stigma that it's not as accessible or it's more expensive, but this is just simple, delicious meals, and you'd be surprised at how delicious and versatile a few vegetables can be. You can get everything that you need out of veggies from the ground. The earth is made of magical properties and they have so much power, and the fact that we can get all of our food from it without having to exploit anything is just something to be super proud of. So like I said, the majority of these meals are completely whole foods. There are a few ingredients that I'm just going to talk through now that I have used that are actually completely optional and don't make or break the meal, but I have included that aren't necessarily whole foods. So I do have a vegan mince substitute for one of the meals. I used a Plant Pioneers plant-based mince, but you can literally get supermarket owned vegan mince and it's super cheap. It's made of soya, so technically it's not even that processed, but this is also optional because it is so easily replaced with vegetables, and ideally I would have done it with vegetables, but I actually didn't have time to prepare because this video did take a long time to film. I have a vegan cream, and you can just use a vegan milk, and I've stated that in the recipe it would have worked exactly the same, and you can get this from supermarkets. I got the Elmia brand, which is the same as the dairy brand. They've made a plant-based alternative and it tastes delicious and creamy, and honestly you won't be able to tell the difference. And then I used a vegan cheese, which is extremely optional. This didn't make or break the meal, and you could have topped it with nutritional yeast, which I'll talk about a little bit in a minute. But if you are going to use a vegan cheese and you can get your hands on it, I really recommend you try out their Violife Epic Mature. They didn't actually have any in the supermarkets this time, but this is the best vegan cheese that I've ever tried. And if you're going to start on vegan cheese, or you're a bit skeptical of it, or you're not a fan, please give this a go, and I promise you it will probably change your mind because it is incredible and it melts incredible and it has the cheesiest taste. And the final ingredient is nutritional yeast, a vegan staple. If you don't have this in your cupboards, just buy it. It's got B12 in, which is what you can't get from just plain veggies. It's found in meat, and it's the one thing that they recommend vegans substitute. It also is high in iron and protein and just all the goodness, and it just tastes delicious, and I probably use it in most recipes in this video. And you can get it in the vegan aisle or the free from aisle. I'm also going to leave some of the recipes in the description box below in case that's easier for you when you are recreating them. If you do make any of these, please make sure to tag me on my Instagram. You can either tag me on my food Instagram, which is at plantbasedcaris, or my normal Instagram, which is at carisklempner. The first recipe is this delicious mushroom stroganoff. I serve this with rice, but you could serve this with pasta or mash as well. It's super versatile, and these are all the ingredients that you're going to need. So we're going to start with adding some oil to a pan and then fry an onion for 5 minutes until it goes translucent. Add the garlic for an extra minute and then add the mushrooms and fry over a medium heat for 5 minutes. Once this is cooked, we want to pour in the white wine, the veg stock, the soy sauce, all the spicage and the nutritional yeast. Just a note that I do add salt and pepper to every meal just to taste, but I don't always show this. Bring this to the boil, and whilst that's cooking we're going to mix the cream or the oat milk with the cornstarch until that's all dissolved. Then you're just going to pour this mix into the pan and cook on a low heat for 10 minutes, and that is it, a delicious mushroom stroganoff, and I served this with rice. The next recipe is risotto with balsamic mushrooms, and this was probably my favourite recipe of the whole video. I did use a red onion for this, but I do recommend a white onion just because you can see it. Add the oil, onion, garlic and salt to a large pot and cook on a medium heat for 10 minutes. Pour in the rice and toast until lightly perfumed for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to pour in the veg stock, starting with 2 cups and then adding more in splashes as it thickens. We're literally just going to want to cook this for 20 to 30 minutes, stirring often. If you don't like the taste of coconut oil, just use any ordinary oil, but whilst the risotto is cooking, we're going to add the garlic, mushrooms, balsamic vinegar and salt into a pan and just cook that until it's all combined. I also added some frozen peas last minute, and then into the risotto we want to add some more nutritional yeast, season with salt and pepper and serve it with the mushrooms on top. It's that easy and this was honestly incredible. The third recipe I'm going to show you is an incredible ratatouille. So versatile. You can have this on its own with rice, potatoes, pasta. What makes this recipe so delicious is you use fresh tomatoes instead of chopped tomatoes. Now if you don't have a blender, just use a grater, but this really does make a difference. Please don't skimp out on this step. So next we're just going to chop up some aubergine, courgette and pepper. Season with oil, salt and pepper and put in the oven at 220 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes. Put the aubergine in the middle shelf and the courgettes on the top, and then after the 15 minutes you're going to want to swap them around and just move them around a bit so they're all getting cooked evenly. You're going to want to cook these for an extra 10 minutes, and then once that 10 minutes up you can take the aubergine out but leave the courgettes in for another 10 minutes. And then we're literally just going to fry some onion and garlic in a pan, add the tomatoes, oregano, salt, the aubergine, and then once the courgettes are finished, add them in too, mix it all together, let it cook for a little bit, and that is it. Super simple but so delicious. If you make any recipe from this video, please make it this one. This is so incredible. So it's a spinach and ricotta callione, and we make the spinach and ricotta mix from cashew nuts. So to make the ricotta, we're gonna soak cashews either overnight or in boiling water for 10 minutes, and then add milk and lemon juice and blitz that up in a food processor. Once this is all blitzed up, add in the nutritional yeast and the salt, and then to make it the spinach part, we're going to fry an onion, garlic and spinach in a pan. Add this all into the NutriBullet with the ricotta and blend this all together. This is honestly a game changer, and you are going to fool a lot of people into thinking that this isn't vegan, because it is so cheesy and delicious, and cashews are the key to any good sauce. Next, you're going to lay your callione noodles into a clear baking tray, and you're going to pipe the ricotta mix into each noodle. I didn't have a piping bag, so I just cut off the end of a little sandwich bag, and it worked well. It was just very messy. And then we're going to make the tomato sauce. Now you're going to want to use this same tomato sauce for the lasagna as well. It's so easy. Just fry onion, garlic, chopped tomatoes, oregano, salt, pepper and a stock cube just for extra flavour into a pan until it's all cooked. Layer the sauce over the noodles, and then if you want to, you can add some plant-based cheese. Cook it for 30 to 35 minutes at 180 degrees. This is perfect with a side salad, and honestly, I could eat this every single day if I could. The next recipe we have is a lasagna. Now we're going to use the same tomato sauce we just made as one of the ingredients. There's also a vegan white sauce, but I am going to leave a recipe for a homemade one with cashews in the description, which I think is better. We're going to add mince to the tomato sauce, fry that off and then start layering. So a layer of the tomato sauce, a layer of lasagna sheets, a layer of the white sauce, and repeat this step until you've used up all the ingredients. I did really enjoy this. I just find the white sauce tasted vegan, if you know what I mean. It was still delicious, but I know that if I made a homemade one out of Whole Foods, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. So I added cheese and cooked this for 30 minutes at 180 degrees. The final meal is an absolute fail-proof spinach and lentil dal. Now, I say in the ingredients, use fresh ginger. I actually used ground ginger for this recipe, but please listen to the ingredients and use fresh ginger because it makes such a difference. All you're going to do is fry the onion and then add garlic, ginger and chilli. Cook this off for a little bit and then we're going to add all of the remaining spices. Next, we're basically going to add all of the remaining ingredients, so the lentils, tomatoes, coconut milk and stock. Season with salt and pepper and cook on a reduced heat for 15 to 20 minutes. Finally, just stir in some lemon juice and spinach, and it is that simple and easy, but so flavourful. Add more chilli depending on your spice tolerance. I made this quite mild, so I served this with a mango and chilli chutney, which was just perfect and definitely needed. I made in this video, I did outdo myself. It was delicious and me and my brother have been eating them all week. These foods are great because they make 4 to 6 portions each, so they're going to be really good for meal prep. If you make a big batch of the meal, you can freeze it easily. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, comment and subscribe. It really does mean so much to me and I'm sending you all the love. I hope you have a beautiful week and I can't wait to see you in my next video.